I wanted to go into the theater, and that's the first thing that I did. And I heard about casting directors, and I met one once, and I thought, wow, this is the greatest profession, because I love performance, and I love working with directors, and it's a way of doing both without having to perform myself.
Okay.
Well, first I read the script and then talk with the director, and I try to, it's the very first thing you do in a movie. So it's a way of really discovering what the characters are about and what the story is about. So the first thing I do is talk to the director, and usually you're talking about the leads at first. Then, I'm screening new actors all the time, and then I'll set up auditions for the director, and sometimes try to encourage the director to see new people that he or she may not have known of. I think intuition is a huge part of it. I think that sometimes when you meet a new person, and an actor can walk through the door, and you kind of know before they've even opened their mouths that they're really interesting, that there's something about them that's compelling and that will register on the screen, and you feel it right away. It's the director's vision that my job is really to bring the director's vision to life.
It was such a great room. You married a very bright guy. I got 150, 160 IQ.
You're figuring it in euros. In dollars, it's much less.
Of course, I've worked with him for over 40 years. I was an assistant on Bananas. And the first movie I cast was Love and Death, and I was about 24, I think, and I was scared to death. And he was so shy then. He's still shy a little, but then he was really shy. So I can't even imagine what our conversations were like. It was probably so awkward, but he's such a darling man and so easy to work with.
I mean, what is your first impression of Adriana?
His style is very distinct. He's quite shy. He doesn't like to spend a lot of time with actors. He maybe will meet an actor for 2 minutes or 5 minutes at the most. Whereas another director might sit down for an hour and chat,
She has to stay here.
I don't like her for you. I don't trust her.
You went through my luggage?
Who knew what I would find there? After all, I have thoughts of killing you.
What?
One's own sense of a movie really coming together and the cast really working is the greatest feeling. And particularly for casting directors, I feel like you like to feel you've done something that obviously works for the story and is realistic, but also original, something that's not expected and feels kind of new and different. I would say that's probably the most gratifying thing.